Okay, it's time for us to wrap up AFL Saturday. 3 more games. If you missed the first two, so North Melbourne, Gold Coast, and Port and the Bulldogs, then go back in the YouTube feed and have a look at those ones. 3 games, as I said, to wrap up. We're going to go Hawthorn to cover, Carlton 1-39, and also the Dockers 1-39. I'm going to tell you why I'm not taking 40 plus for Freo in just a moment. But in the first game, Hawthorn to cover the 10.5 line. Momentum is key here. So Geelong have lost 6 of their last 8 games, whilst the Hawks are on a 5-game win streak. Momentum is key in the AFL. And, this might just be recency bias. Cane me if you want. But until the Hawks prove otherwise, I'm going to back them in to get close in this one and cover the 10.5 line. Now, the Hawks have a really, really high inside 50 rate over their past 5 wins here. They're hitting at 56 per game, which is massive. The Cats are the 3rd worst in the league at allowing their opposition inside 50s. They're giving up 54 per game over this season, so that's just massive. The Hawks are also really good at using the ball. High efficiency rate of disposals. They're 3rd in the league at 74.4%. And Geelong have a very high turnover rate, 68 turnovers per game, 3rd worst in the league. So with all these stars aligning, I think Geelong still have a really, really good chance of winning. They are a better team in their core, but Hawthorn to cover is a really, really good bet here with the double digits. In the next game, we have Carlton and GWS. Carlton are really proving themselves as a contender this season, and they will continue to do so with a small margin of victory over GWS, who are struggling to score points this season. So GWS's all their 7 losses so far this year have come by 1-39 points, which works in our favour. Carlton, they've not conceded over 75 points in their last 5 games. And the GWS have not scored over 78 points in their last 8 games. So it's looking at a low total for GWS, which allows then Carlton to get on top and just coast to the end to win by that 1-39 margin. Think about back in round 6 when these two teams met. The GWS were up by 19 points in the second quarter, by 22 points, and GWS were up by 22. Carlton came back to win by 19. And for the final game of the day, we're going to head over to Perth, where the Dockers are amazing at home. Only dropped 1 game as the home team this season. They're taking on the Tigers, who have a massive injury list. There were 18 players on the injury list. They've just been smashed all season. We know that there are a few guys that won't be travelling to Perth. They're going to be saved, and Dustin Martin is one of them. So the Dockers, coming into this one, they are leading the league in clearances, and they're also restricting their opponent to the least amount of clearances per game. So 40.4 they're getting, and they're restricting to 31.5. The Tigers are already the last team in the comp at getting their own clearances, 31.9. So we're going to see the Dockers really dominate in this area of the game. They'll get the ball out in the middle and they'll have that run, and we know how good they are at using the ball. Their efficiency rate is also the highest in the league. So they're going to get on the ball, get on the run, and use the ball well to get inside 50 and score those goals. The Tigers have a problem with giving away uncontested possessions. They're not very pressure heavy, which also plays right into the hands of the Freo Dockers that want to move the ball around and pass it to each other to get forward. The 40 plus probably is a more of a public bet here, but the 1-39 is for me the better value, because you're banking on the Tigers to still score a few points, which they will, and the Dockers aren't known to blast away with massive scores. So they're the 3 bets for this Saturday. Last 3 games, the afternoon and evening shift in the AFL Round 17.